Welcome, 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 everyone, to the Women's Empower Network. I am so excited to have Alicia here from Trinidad today. Welcome, Alicia.
Welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be here with you.
Yes, I'm excited to have you with us. And so for the focus today, I thought we would talk about if you could tell us a little bit about your story and journey that led you to what you're passionate about now and what you're doing. And could start as far back as you want.
We're going to be here for a very long time, so I'm going to be conscious of the time. But yes, so in terms of where I'm at right now, I would say that it has taken quite a number of years. I I've been saying to people I am a proud 50-year-old woman, and some of the lessons I've learned or I'm just realizing are only happening now at age 50, which is quite awesome. But where I've gotten to at this stage in life, I would say I've just started a new chapter. And that chapter is that of a coach and an entrepreneur in that regard. Having spent 28 years in the corporate world, it has been a massive transformation, a massive transition at the same time. And where this started, I would go back maybe just about 8 years ago. So around 8 years ago, I was basically an expat in Egypt, working for my company. I had been transferred to Egypt on a project. I was a health, safety, and environmental manager. And during that period, I always say that it's the first time I truly experienced work-life balance. And I would give credit to my Egyptian colleagues there, who I found really have the right balance. Family life is extremely important to them, but when they are working, they are fully 100% on board and focused. And I had come from a culture of just going, going, going. I would work weekends as well. I work late hours. And when I moved there, I noticed, people left the office a certain time. Weekends, people were all out and about. No one was having late meetings. And I wondered what was this about? So it took a little bit of a adjustment for me. And of course, as I embraced the culture there, I realized, okay, this is their way of living and it's wonderful. So with that, I got some more time, I would say, on my hand. And I had not really had the opportunity prior to that. And this was actually 2015. I did not have time prior to that to focus on personal development. Any sort of development was via the technical route in my job. So I was looking through social media one day and I came upon a woman, Danny Watson, with the Click Academy. And I thought, I'm really impressed with this lady. I love what she's doing. I see, it's all about woman power. And this is something I'm intrigued by. I got onto a call with one of her reps and I was thinking about, this is the next step for me. However, the timing wasn't right. While I had the work-life balance in Egypt, I was also in a very fast-paced project and I really had to focus there. So I remember saying to the lady, I love what I've heard, but I know I would not be able to give time commitment at this point. So time moved on. I completed my assignment in Egypt. Fast forward 2020, I returned to Trinidad and I started in my role in Trinidad. And the pace just it got much more hectic, I would say. So during that period, though, and even the time in Egypt, one of the things that fulfilled me, and I should say the thing that fulfilled me the most was working with a team. prior in my years before, I was always an individual contributor, and I loved being that. Just you can throw me in a corner, close the door, and I'll just do my job and I'm happy. I don't really want to interact with people because I'm an introvert. But as time went on and I started collaborating more, I realized that I got so much energy and my own creativity, would be sparked when I got involved with team members. And when I came back to Trinidad, that was what got me up every day. My little team of 4 persons. Initially, I had 5. Then there was a sort of restructure. I had 4. Just working with these persons, it lit up my day. And people would give me the feedback. Alicia, you're easy to talk to. Alicia, you listen. Alicia, you have good ideas. So 3 years after that, basically, end of 2023, I was retrenched from my job. Was a massive hit. It was, as they say, a curveball. It came out of nowhere. I had no idea this was happening. I had been involved in restructures and reshapes prior to that period. I've seen team members, lose their jobs. And it was always an extremely difficult time. I never realized my turn was coming. And, it is what it is. No hard feelings at the end of the day. I think it's almost a year, and one of my reflections is that, God recognized how tired I was. He recognized that I was no longer enjoying what I thought was my passion, and that it was time to turn the page, move into a new chapter, and explore other passions. And so for me, it was divine intervention. Of course, the first few months, I didn't feel that way. I bawled, I sat on the toilet, bathroom floor, crying, bawling, what is going to happen? Who's going to hire me? I wanted to influence people. I wanted to be a powerful feminine leader. What is going to happen to me? And my part really, it took a turn. I was very fortunate to interact with some amazing women leaders and also male, mentors and coaches along the way. But the first person that I would really give thanks to is a lady by the name of Natalie Ledwell. And she's the creator and founder of Mind Movies.
Oh, yeah.
Mind Movies was the first program I did after my redundancy. And that is where I got in touch with myself. I discovered myself. I found my identity because after the job loss, I didn't know who I was. I was accustomed to describing myself as Alicia Fuentes with that job title from that company. And now without that, it's like, who am I?
Right.
So through Mind Valley and their program, I went back into looking at what my core values, really are. I looked at identifying passions. That was quite an interesting one for me. Things that I had held off and I probably just parked for so long, like writing and speaking. Opportunities just started to come my way. And I decided, coaching was the way that I wanted. This was the way that I could have that influence and I can have that impact in my own small way, and from Trinidad. So when it came to identifying my niche, it was very clear to me I wanted to work with women. My goal has always been and still is to be in feminine leadership. So really be that powerful feminine leader. But I also recognize that through the redundancy, as I said, I'd lost my identity. So I was also on a journey. And to be able to give the best to my clients, I really strongly felt that I had to go through that journey in a slow and gentle fashion. So I've taken that time this year, and during that period, I've also had the opportunity to work with a few wonderful ladies and discover, where do I want to put my attention? So for the past few months, I've been focused on rock solid confidence and work-life harmony as the two key areas that I've supported women who've been struggling in those areas. But I am about to pivot, and what is the best way for me to do that is to use my own experience, my most recent, challenge, I would call it, and that is the redundancy. So very shortly, I will be sort of relaunching, I guess is what I would say, as the revalidation coach for high performing women after redundancy. And I strongly believe that it is important to rediscover your identity, to reclaim your worth, and to redefine your path. The
That's
intersection,
beautiful.
if you get those three areas right, you are revalidated, and the key is not to depend on external validation. It comes from within. And therefore, you can rise stronger even after something as a job loss or any type of loss in reality. You find yourself again and you rise stronger.
That's beautiful. And there's so many lessons in that journey, and one of them, in my words, I would say that life is happening for you, not to you. And when you said it was like divine intervention and that God saw you as being tired and everything, but it seems like he just had other plans for you. Um, and so it
I
turned
love
out
that.
to be a gift once you get over the shock of it.
Yes, it is a gift. I mean, I always say, I maintain that life is a gift, right? Regardless of the challenges that we face, once we are able to be open-minded and to have that growth mindset, we look at it from that perspective. And as people always say, the glass half full as opposed to the glass half empty.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm so grateful that you came through this to the other side, and now you really get to be of service to women who are struggling with redundancy, because it happens a lot more than we realize
Yeah.
today. But yet there's a silver lining and there's an opportunity. And because you've had the opportunity to go through this experience, that you can help guide women into that new chapter, as you call it, to where they're probably, it's providence. It's like where they're actually being led to be.
Yes.
So I am so
Yes.
glad that we met. Is there
Same
any
here.
final words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the group today?
I would say to the women out there who are experiencing invalidation. So, yes, I'm going to focus on those who've been made redundant, but in general, the theme is it's about revalidating yourself. So, if you are feeling invalidated from whatever circumstance, know that you already have everything within you. You are enough just as you are. And it is about embracing change and being unstoppable. So to rise stronger, you've got to dig deep inside and find that strength that is already there. Get rid of the self-doubt, break the barriers around those limiting beliefs that are there, and know that to do that, you have to be, I would say, selfish. Selfish in the sense of, I recognize that I need support. I can't do this on my own. And ask for that help. Don't try to be, you know, this person who thinks that asking for help is weakness, because it's not, right? The true feminine leader, who really works with a feminine energy, is able to recognize that seeking that support and going together, whether it's your pastor, your priest, whoever is your spiritual guide, a mentor or coach, just do that. Step out and take that, take that first step, basically, instead of sitting there and feeling sorry and feeling like a victim.
That's beautiful. We'll be sure to put the links above this interview and below so that you can get in touch with Alicia if you really resonated with her story and you want to have a consultation with her and see if you'll be a good fit with Alicia. And again, Alicia, thank you so much for being with us today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for all that you are doing and for this amazing network.
Thank you.